Which performance car is better, the BMW M240i or the Toyota Supra? Well, in this episode, we are going to find out. Both of these vehicles start at a reasonably good price. There are four versions of the Supra. It starts in between $45,000 and $65,000. There's only two versions of the M240i. It starts in between $49,000 and $52,000. Pretty much the same price between these two. These two-door cars have very nice exterior designs. On the front, the M240i has that traditional BMW grille, which looks so much better than the vertical grille some other BMWs have. The headlights look pretty nice and the bumper has a very aggressive look. However, I prefer the front of the Supra. This car looks amazing on the front. I love the shape of these headlights, they look so nice. And the overall front of this vehicle looks even more aggressive than the M240i's. The air intakes are even bigger. From the side, the M240i looks amazing. I love that clean look. I prefer this over the side profile of the Supra, which also looks really good. Those door mirrors on the Supra are actually from BMW. Lots of parts on this car are from BMW. You have really nice wheel designs. So the Supra has 19-inch wheels with different design choices. However, one thing I do not like about the Supra is those fake vents. There's so many of them on the exterior design, and I don't like how they look. This car looks so much better without them. I'm glad that this car doesn't have fake vents. I love the side profile of the M240i. The handles look amazing the way they're flush into the door. Those M Sport door mirrors look really cool, and this car also has very nice wheels. Just like the Supra, they're 19 inches with different design choices. From the back, the Supra looks fabulous. Those taillights look wonderful. The back of the BMW is also really nice. Both of these cars are very light. The M240i is slightly heavier. It weighs over 3,700 pounds, which is not necessarily heavy. However, the Supra weighs in between 3,100 and 3,400 pounds. These cars also have relatively low drag coefficients. The Supra has a drag coefficient of 0.33 CD. The BMW, however, is slightly more aerodynamic. It has a drag coefficient of 0.3 CD. Which exterior do you guys prefer? Let me know in the comments down below. These cars have very nice interiors. The Supra's interior looks very similar to that of a BMW, and that's because most of the controls and buttons are from BMW, such as the climate controls, the gear selector, the door handles, the rear view mirror. So many parts of the interior are from BMW, and just like a BMW, the Supra has a very good interior quality. There's expensive feeling leather. There are also those sports seats which are manually adjusted with the base model and electrically adjusted with the more expensive models. The interior design is very nice. It looks really clean and is a very nice place to be in. The M240i's interior is very nice. You have the widescreen curved display, which makes its interior feel way more modern. And there you can see once again are the BMW door handles, which look so similar to the ones in the Supra. And you can never go wrong with BMW's interior quality. Their cabins always have the most expensive feeling materials and feel very solidly put together. The BMW also has two seats in the back. In the Toyota, there's only two seats. There's the M Sport steering wheel, and the overall design is very nice. It looks more modern than the interior of the Supra. The Supra's interior is great. Both of these interiors are very nice places to be in. Which interior do you guys prefer? Let me know in the comments down below. These vehicles have good practicality. With the BMW, you have the saloon-style trunk. You can also fold down the rear seats for extra storage. And this car has up to 10 cubic foot of cargo space. With the Supra, you have the hatchback-style trunk, which makes it easier to load in items. This car also has up to 10 cubic foot of cargo space. Pretty much the same between these two. Now the Supra is powered by an engine made by BMW. You can choose for a 2-liter inline-4 turbocharged engine, which makes 255 horsepower and 295 pound-feet of torque. Or you can go for a 3-liter inline-6 turbocharged engine, which makes 382 horsepower and 368 pound-feet of torque. It only powers the rear wheels by an 8-speed automatic transmission or a 6-speed manual transmission. The BMW has a 3-liter inline-6 turbocharged engine, which makes 382 horsepower and 369 pound-feet of torque. The standard M240i has a rear-wheel drive system. the xDrive has an all-wheel drive system. Both of those have an 8-speed automatic transmission. Now, let's find out how fast these cars can go. The BMW can go from 0 to 60 miles per hour in 3.9 seconds. It has a top speed of 155 miles per hour, and it can complete the quarter mile in 12.1 seconds. The Supra can also go from 0 to 60 miles per hour in 3.9 seconds. It has a top speed of 155 miles per hour, however, it can complete the quarter mile in 12.8 seconds. The M240i xDrive with its all-wheel drive system is slightly more powerful than the rear-wheel drive system you have on the Supra, but it's still very close between these two. Now let's talk about these vehicles' chassis. So the Supra has a shock suspension system with adaptive dampers. You can set them to a softer setting or to a stiffer setting. There's active sway bars at the front and rear to reduce the amount of body roll. There's also variable steering. It basically adjusts the steering power based on how fast the vehicle is going. And you also have an electrically controlled rear differential which can send power to the outer wheel with the most grip for better traction. The BMW also has a shock suspension system with adaptive dampers, which have different settings to them. You can set them to a softer setting or to a stiffer setting. There's sway bars at the front and rear to prevent body roll. There's variable ratio steering just like you have in the Supra, which basically makes the steering more responsive. And you have the M Sport rear differential, which will send power to the outer wheel with the most grip for better traction. Now let's compare these vehicles' brakes. So the standard Supra has 330mm discs gripped by single piston calipers. The more expensive models have 348mm discs gripped by 4-piston calipers at the front. At the back, they have 345mm discs gripped by single piston calipers. The BMW as standard has 345mm discs gripped by 6-piston calipers at the front. At the back, this car has 340mm discs gripped by single piston calipers. Both of these cars provide a very nice driving experience. With the Supra, there's lots of power. If you go for the 3-liter 6-cylinder engine, then this car goes very fast. It also has very good suspension. You have the shock suspension system, which makes the vehicle more agile. You can set the adaptive dampers to a softer setting, which makes the vehicle more comfortable to drive. You can also set them to a stiffer setting, which makes the vehicle more nimble. It also handles very well. You have those sway bars to prevent the body roll when cornering. The traction is also pretty good in this vehicle. You have the rear differential, which improves the traction and the cornering experience. The steering is also very nice since you have the variable steering, which increases stability and gives the vehicle more road feel. This car also has a very good stopping performance. You have good brakes and is very light. Overall, the Supra is very nice to drive. It's very powerful. The suspension is very good with its adaptive dampers. It handles very well when cornering. It has pretty good traction. It steers very nicely and has very good stopping performance. The M240i is also very nice to drive. The 3-liter 6-cylinder engine makes this vehicle very fast. You have the shock suspension system, which makes the vehicle more agile. You can set the adaptive dampers to a softer setting, which makes the ride more comfortable, or you can set them to a stiffer setting, which makes the vehicle more nimble. And it handles very well. You have those sway bars, which reduces the body roll. The xDrive with its all-wheel drive system significantly improves the traction. You also have the rear differential, which improves the cornering experience. It also has very good steering. You have the variable ratio steering, which increases stability and overall makes the steering feel more controllable. And this car also has very good stopping performance. It's light and has very good brakes. Overall, the M240i is a very nice car to drive. It's very powerful, it has very good suspension, it handles very well, especially in corners, it has very good steering, has great traction, and has a very good stopping performance. So which is better, the Toyota Supra or the BMW M240i? It's pretty close between these two. Toyota has done a fabulous job with the Supra. It looks beautiful on the outside, has a very nice interior, has good practicality, it's very fast, and is very nice to drive. The only thing is, there's no all-wheel drive system with the Supra. The M240i is slightly better. It starts at a good price just like the Supra. It looks great on the outside, has a fabulous interior, good practicality, it's very fast, and drives really nicely. You can also choose for an all-wheel drive system or a rear-wheel drive system. So overall, the M240i is slightly better. But do you guys agree? Let me know in the comments down below which vehicle do you guys prefer. But anyways, that's going to wrap it up for today's episode.